July 20th, 2026 brings another measured update on two networks built for regulated finance rather than retail speculation. Today's signal is not about short-term price moves. It is about infrastructure, access, and the steady work of institutional adoption. On XRP, the headline development is Ripple's reported ESMA MiCA listing, which is an important marker in a European regulatory framework that institutions pay close attention to. In practical terms, the significance is not simply that XRP is trading at $1.09 today, slightly lower on the session. The more relevant story is that regulated market access in Europe can improve how institutions evaluate distribution, compliance, and product design around the asset. When you see references to ETF inclusion and renewed inflows, that is another reminder that capital markets participants are increasingly testing XRP through familiar wrappers, not just through crypto-native venues. That matters because XRP's core thesis has always been tied to settlement efficiency and cross-border value transfer. The question for institutions is less whether the asset is visible, and more whether the surrounding market structure is mature enough for their mandates. A MiCA-aligned listing and continued ETF flow discussion suggest that the conversation is moving deeper into regulated channels, where compliance, custody, and liquidity matter as much as network speed. A separate piece worth noting asks what drives XRP's value if it can be reused every few seconds. That is a useful framing for an institutional audience. It points to utility, turnover, and liquidity depth rather than static holding behavior. In payment networks, velocity and settlement function are part of the economic model, and that is exactly why XRP continues to be discussed in the context of institutional rails. Turning to HBAR, today's focus is on deployment and enterprise tooling. Scaffold HBAR, which can deploy multi-chain Hedera applications in seconds with built-in AI, speaks to a different but equally important part of the market: developer productivity and enterprise readiness. Institutions do not adopt infrastructure only because it is fast. They adopt when integration costs fall, deployment becomes predictable, and the platform can support real business workflows. Tools that simplify multi-chain development help broaden the ecosystem around Hedera and make tokenization and application rollout more practical. The second HBAR theme is more technical, but still relevant. Momentum is compressing while buyers defend support. For a network like Hedera, that kind of market structure often reflects a pause while participants assess whether the enterprise pipeline is translating into sustained demand. HBAR is trading around $0.0659, modestly lower today, but the more important point is that price action is being watched alongside utility narratives, not separate from them. The broader signal today is straightforward. Both XRP and HBAR remain anchored in the same institutional conversation: compliance, settlement, enterprise integration, and regulated market access. XRP is advancing through the language of listings, ETFs, and payment utility. HBAR is advancing through deployment tools, enterprise-grade architecture, and application development. These are not speculative headlines. They are indicators of how blockchain networks move from concept to infrastructure. The takeaway for today is that institutional adoption is still being built, one market structure improvement and one deployment workflow at a time. Not financial advice, educational content only.